Welcome to Star Trek Enterprise E-Update number 4. We just saw an update from quite a long time ago, but today we're going to look at the actual progress up to date so far, and there has been some progress. We've got the inside of the ship painted, we have some lighting started, there's some things that are going to be coming in the mail very shortly, and things are starting to take shape. So let's take a look at the current progress on the Enterprise NCC 1701E. But before we take a look at the model, let's take a quick look to see at some of the changes that have happened around the studio. We did some renovations, we put insulation in the walls, we drywall, painted, there's a floor under my feet that's brand new, and a few other things, so we're just going to take a quick peek around. The first new area is an area specifically for recording Minecraft videos for YouTube. This is where I sit down, play the game, grab the microphone, record, video, the whole bit. And it is so much better than sitting out here in the cold at the workbench on a stool. In addition to the new YouTube area, the workbench is now it's flat, straight, nothing's going to roll off of this area. It is set up really well, and we have some new electrical outlets. Lots of electricity to be able to run everything that I need for my modeling. Also, I've got this brand new shelf area, and you can see my stockpile of models up here. And we've got quite a few going on here, so there's going to be some projects for quite a bit of time. Lots of nice storage. You don't really want to see the recycling. And yeah, so I think that this is going to be set up quite nicely to be able to do some of this stuff. My new bench vise, and the freezer's in the back there, and my instructions for the model are taped to the front of the freezer, kind of like my project board. The most significant change has actually been this floor that's been added to compensate for the slope going front to back on this garage floor. And we have a slightly higher section in the back here where the freezer sits on. So much nicer not having to worry about things rolling off a workbench that's not on a flat floor. Now let's take a quick look at what's going on with the model itself. What we've done is we painted every piece that is going to have internal lighting black. A couple layers of black paint. Then, once that was fully dried, I went over and painted 2 coats of white inside each area. The black serves as your light block coats. Then the white is there to help bounce the light around on the inside. And you can tell on the saucer section here, there's some black paint on the edge. That's the light blocking coats, and then you've got your white coats inside. Now on the bottom section of the primary hull, there is a 2-section strip of LED tape that I've got temporarily mounted in. That's the first lighting circuit so far. And from what I was seeing, that's going to be all it's going to take to do all of the window lightings in the primary hull section. Same with the secondary hull. I think it's only going to take 1 or 2 sections of LED tape total to reach all the lights inside. The warp nacelles have also been painted black and white, and the section that isn't painted here is actually going to need to be removed so that the lighting for the chiller grills will be able to come through. I'll talk a little bit more about what we're doing with the warp nacelles in a minute. One of the alterations I've made to the kit for lighting purposes is to remove the plastic in this neck area. I was trying to figure out how I could get this very small windows on this section to light up. So what I ended up doing was removing the plastic underneath where this goes. And then with that removed, and let me power this up and turn off the overhead light, you'll see that the light is coming through. Now let's see if I can get a good shot of that. Okay, I'm going to need to move this a little more overhead. Here we go, we have a better look at those windows. Now keep in mind this is still in the very rough stage. I need to remove a little bit more of the plastic because it's blocking the large windows in the back there. You can see, if I can get my little drill here, you can see that it is blocking these windows a little bit. So I'm going to need to take my Dremel tool and clean that out a little bit more. I want a bit of a ledge to be able to adhere this piece to, but if I clear out a little bit more, those will show much better. And then, let's see how my camera does here. You can see the lighting coming through these windows, even with just the small test piece of LED tape that's in there. The windows that are dark are the ones that have the electrical tape in behind them, which have been sealed in through the paint. Now we're going to get a look at the primary hull, and I've got this the first strip temporarily mounted in there and hooked up to my power supply. So let's turn that on and see what that looks like. There we go. So as you can see, the light is quite decently distributed with only 2 sections of the LED tape. And as I move it, you can even see the windows on the edge are well lit. One of the issues that I was really concerned about was the scale of the lighting in the windows, because if it's too bright, it doesn't look like it's in scale. And I think having just the one strip, let me see if I can get the bottom here, just having that one strip, and you can see all those little lights in there, you don't want them blaring. So one strip, I think, is just the right amount of light. And this saucer section fits together quite well. Not too many light leaks, given that it's just pressure fit together here. And there's quite a bit of light coming out the blank spaces for the impulse engines. I will be putting red LEDs in there. I've got a bit of a plan for that. I'm waiting on some parts to come in, which I'll talk about later. But, you know, I think it's looking quite nice. It's not too bright. It's kind of just right. And you know, if it's not blaring on the camera, then and it is looking good on the camera, that's a good sign that you don't have your lights too bright. So I'm quite pleased with that. I'm really pleased with that. There's a little bit of light leaking up top, but that'll be taken care of once the exterior paint is on. I've made 2 modifications that's worth noting on the upper primary hull and the neck cover piece. And it's hard to see, but I've just carved out a small, let's see if I can see this here, just a small semicircle here and a small semicircle on this piece. And that's all that was required to allow me to bring the lighting cable from the saucer down to the primary hull and out through the mounting tube. So, very small modification necessary to do that. This is the next item I want to talk about. This is the post, which is going to be the mounting post for the Enterprise. And on top of here is a T-junction. I'm going to split the T-junction right along here, hammer that down, and that is going to be shaped to fit the inside. When that's split and hammered down, it's going to be a very strong connection point for the model. It'll be epoxied in there, and that is not going to move. Also, the wiring is going to be able to come up through that piece, through the tube. Yeah. So that's going to be how we're mounting it. It took me quite a while to find this, but we have an amazing hobby shop called Leading Edge Hobbies here in Kingston, and they had absolutely everything I needed. So next on the agenda is what we're going to do about the warp nacelles, and this has been something that's been tricky for me to be able to figure out. The pylons don't give you much space at all to run wires, and I'm likely going to need to probably on this bottom piece here, this larger piece, run a trench through on the inside with my Dremel tool to create enough space for the wires to go through. And then they're going to need to, let me get this, how does this go? There we go. Wires will come up through the pylon, up the pylon, out the side, into the side of the pylon where it's mounted. into the side of the nacelle where it's mounted to the pylon. I am going to be getting in the mail very shortly a Bussard collector array for the lighting. On the in the movie, the lighting did this kind of lava lamp sort of effect, and so I've ordered a board that will do the lava lamp with 3 LEDs on the Bussard collector and look after all of the navigation blinkies and that kind of thing. I was going to try to figure it out myself, but for this model, it's my first one back since I was building models as a kid, and the first time I'm lighting it, I decided I'm going to buy the effects board, and that's coming from Tenna Controls. And that's going to take care of the navigation and flashies. It's also going to take care of that. So, inside there are going to be 3 LEDs grouped together, and they're going to be on a circuit that lets them fade in and out and give that modeled lava lamp sort of effect. Now, the actual warp nacelles chiller, the famous blue, that's a little more difficult to figure out. Most of the people I've seen online have used the LED tape. Now, one of the problems with the LED tape, and it's great for the inside lighting, saves a ton of time. You don't have to worry about connecting your LEDs to resistors and that kind of thing. But each one of these glows, and if I stick it inside the nacelle, let's see if I can kind of just piece this together for you. And if I put the other side of the nacelle on, originally I was thinking, okay, you know, if I've got the plastic in place, the white plastic, and that's why I didn't paint that section on the inside, you know, that would diffuse the light quite well, but you know, it doesn't really cut it. And even with the plastic over top, I'm getting hot spots, cold spots. And that's kind of a killer when it comes to the warp nacelles. And almost every version of the AMT kit I've seen of this online has used the LED light, and you can see those hot spots. It's probably magnified, the effect's probably magnified on the camera. And I don't like that. So I've ordered some side glow fiber optic. With the side glow fiber optic, what I'm going to be able to do is put an LED on the end of the fiber optic cable, and it will glow like a neon tube. So I'll remove this plastic, put the side glow fiber optic in, and that'll give a really nice, even blue glow. So once the chiller grill is put on top, and it's painted blue on the inside, and it's frosted, and all that nice, wonderful stuff, if I can get it in the right place here, it'll just have this really nice blue glow to it. No hot spots, no cold spots. You can't count the individual LEDs. I think that's going to be a much better way to do this. So that's coming in the mail from China. Not sure when that's going to arrive, and I'll start playing with it as soon as it comes in. This chiller grill, when I took it off the sprue, it cracked. And because it's a clear piece, the crack will show completely when it's installed. So I've actually contacted Round 2 Models, and they were very good. I explained what happened, and so what they said is send us $10 for the shipping, and we will send you a replacement part for it. So I have to say, Round 2 really is standing behind their model kits. So if you're ever concerned about the support, don't worry about it. They have you covered. The other item I have coming in the mail very shortly is the Paragraphics brass etch kit for this, and a few things that are going to be really important about that. One, it has a brass etch cover for both sides of the chiller grill. It's a textured grill, and there's supposed to be dark spots on it where the light does not shine through, and it's hard to do that on a piece this small painting. I'm getting just the even strips of paint on. You get the wibbly wobbly timey-wimey stuff going on there. I don't want that. I want it to be nice, crisp, clear, so I've invested in the photo etch kit for that from Paragraphics. So that will go on either side of each nacelle chiller grill. And the other thing it's going to do is give me the grills to go on to the impulse engine areas. It gives that nice pattern that you see in the movie with the darker sections. I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to use the kit supplied plastic piece to go in there because it's got that detailing on it. I'm either going to need to completely sand that down or maybe get some clear plastic or clear red plastic that I can cut to the right size and put underneath the grill. The grill will be on top, the plastic will be on the bottom with the red, and I will have some LEDs glowing through there. We'll see how that works out. Anything I say about how I'm doing it is subject to change. Again, I'm an amateur. I'm not really a professional at this, and I'm figuring this out as I go, but having a lot of fun doing it. So that's everything I have to show you today. I hope that you've enjoyed it. Again, if you like what you see, please share this video, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, leave your comments below. If you've got some tips for me about how I should be doing this better, leave those comments below. I'd love to hear from you, especially those of you who are professionals who might have just stumbled across this thing when you were looking for Enterprise E stuff. The other thing that's new in news when it comes to Enterprise E is there is a 41-inch Enterprise E that is now available for sale. And that has been made from Masters of the Softened Replicas version that was brought out probably 10 years ago and has gone out of availability. But it has been brought back, it has been retooled. I've seen pictures of it, it looks absolutely fantastic. If I had $1,450 US, just sitting on my shelf doing nothing, I would be buying one right now. If I had $1,850 US, I'd be buying the clear version of that. It is a fantastic kit. I would absolutely love to get my hands on it. It would be fantastic. But you know, there's other priorities. I just renovated this to create a studio, and that costs some money, so we need to recover from that first. Please subscribe. I've got 100 subscribers. I'd love to see that grow. And share this video with your friends, your Star Trek friends, your modeling friends, anybody like that, your Minecraft friends. Come on, people, you like Minecraft, you must like Star Trek, you must like models. So thank you for watching. This has been Andrew, and we will see you later.